Investing in stock market seems to be very confusing, right? Because you need to know about the fundamentals of the company. You have to read the financials. You have to look at the profitability ratios. You have to look at the balance sheet and all of that, and a lot of other things. But here I am today with a very beautiful single strategy that can help you to find value stocks very easily. So yes, let's hop into the video. Today we are going to talk about Petrovski score, which is a score which determines the value of a company, or which determines how good the company is. So today in this whole video we will be looking at what Petrovski score is about. We'll be learning everything about Petrovski score, and then we'll be learning how Petrovski score is actually defined, what are the parameters, what are the criteria that has been taken care of while a Petrovski score is defined on a company. And then you will learn how you can look at a company and understand the Petrovski score. And last, we will be looking at how to actually implement it. That is, how to find out where to find the Petrovski score of a company and how can you directly get to investment right away. So let's start with what Petrovski score is all about. See, Petrovski score is a score that is ranging from 0 to 9, which shows the financial strength of company. That is, Petrovski score completely portrays the financial area of a company, and it gives you how much strength or how much value does this company have. Basically, Petrovski score look at 9 different parameters, and each parameter will be having point of 1. That is, if all 9 parameters are met, your company will be having a Petrovski score of 9. Where if no parameters are met, the company will be having a Petrovski score of 0. Now, we have to look at what are the different parameters that has been looking around when you're checking the Petrovski score. So basically, the whole Petrovski score can be broken down into 3 different categories, out of which the first one is profitability, number 2, the second one is leverage, liquidity, and the source of fund, and the 3 would be operating efficiency. But before getting into these technicals, let me tell you, you need not to be understanding or analyzing these technicals of company if at all you know the Petrovski score. So by the end of the video, you will understand how to easily go and check the Petrovski score and understand how much valuable the company is. For the sake of yourself to be understanding how the Petrovski score working, we are going to talk about these 3 different categories. As I've told you, Petrovski score is actually looking at 9 different parameters, which is categorized under 3, out of which the profitability criteria have 4 points actually. The first one is positive net income, which is having 1 point, and the second one is positive return on asset in the current year, that is another point, and positive operating cash flow is another point, and then we have the cash flow from operations being greater than the net income. So those are the 4 different points or parameters that is looked at the profitability criteria. Then we have the leverage, liquidity, and the source of fund criteria, which we have 3 different points or the 3 different parameters to be looking at. The first one is lower amount of long-term debt compared to last year. This year it should be low. Okay, that is one parameter. Number 2, the parameter is highest current ratio in this year compared to the previous year will be having another point, and no new shares were issued in the last year. Basically, lack of dilution and everything is taken into consideration here, which is also having 1 point. And the other one is the operating efficiency criteria, which have 2 parameters, which is a higher gross margin compared to the previous year, you should be having more, and a higher asset turnover ratio compared to the previous year is also having another point. So these are the 9 parameters which we are actually looking into when you look at the financials of this company. So now the question is, if at all you feel to, or if at all you understand the Petrovski score or how the Petrovski score has been led, now the question is, how do you actually read the Petrovski score? As I've told you, Petrovski score is a score that is ranging from 0 to 9. Which means a company which is having a Petrovski score around 8 or 9, the company is high value company. Company can be considered as a high value or a highly financially strong company, you could say that. And if a company comes down lower and lower, and if it is around 0 or 1 or 2, the company is having very low financials. So by looking at the Petrovski score, you can understand how financially strong the company is. That is, if the company is having a Petrovski score above 8 or above 7, the company can be considered pretty healthy. But if the company is having a Petrovski score which is below 4, this could be considered as financially less healthy company. So that is how you actually look at a Petrovski score of a company and understand how the Petrovski score works and understand if the company is worthy enough for your money to be invested in. Now we have to be looking at the most important part, where actually you can figure out the Petrovski score and how actually you can figure out the Petrovski score of a single stock and how to analyze it and invest in the right way or select the stocks right away. So yeah, let's get into the screen then. So here you have the website screener.in, which is a pretty good website for you to understand a lot of financials and fundamentals of a company. So here is the same place where you are going to see the Petrovski score of a company. So let's just randomly type out any company, let's say Wipro. Okay. So I'm just checking out the Wipro and you can see the financial here. So here you can see the fundamentals of Wipro and all of that. Here you have an option called add ratio to table. Here is where you should be typing out Petrovski score and you can click on the Petrovski score. It will be added here. You can see that the Petrovski score of Wipro is 2. By looking at this Petrovski score, you can clearly answer this, right? Is Wipro worthy enough for you to invest? It's a good question, right? Now you look at another random stocks. Let us say Adani. Adani has been into the news these times, and let us look at any of the Adani stocks. So we are looking at the Adani Enterprises Limited. So when you look at the Adani Enterprises Limited, the Petrovski score of Adani is 4, which is also not so worthy stock. So now let us think about a simple confusion or a simple area. If at all you're planning to invest in any of the IT stock, okay, you have Infosys here and you have Wipro here, and you're confused on which stock to invest in. It is very easy for you to figure out. You look at Infosys and you look at the Petrovski score, it is 7, which says that Infosys is pretty strong stock in its financial, right? Now you look at Wipro again, what happens is you can see the Petrovski score is 2. So out of such kind of scenarios, you can easily figure out or determine your financial decisions or take your right financial decisions by looking at the Petrovski score. So here, when you compare between Infi and Wipro, you can easily understand that Infi is a better choice for you to invest. Now let us look for any other stocks. Let us say Tata power company. So basically Tata Power Company is a very green, it's basically a green energy company where I have been invested into, and you guys as well can consider investing. So you look at the Petrovski score of Tata Power Company, what you can see here is 7. 7 is also a pretty good company, but when you look at the any let's say Amar Raja Batteries is another beautiful company, you have a Petrovski score of 6, which is not so good, but still it's a average thing, right? So by this means you can actually look at the Petrovski score of different companies and determine if you can be a part or you can invest it in or what. Okay. So basically, let me just tell you the use cases or the areas which you should be using Petrovski score. Petrovski score should not be the only thing that you look at when you look at an investment, because you have to look at the basic technical part as well and how the company performs and the overall things as well. But Petrovski score can really help you to take a right decision. Petrovski score being looking at a 9 different parameters which are valuable gives you a very clear idea about what the stock is all about. And I'd always prefer to look at Petrovski score in making decisions. As if I said before, if at all you have a confusion between two stocks of same industry, you can look at a Petrovski score and understand which company is having strong financials. As of we have been selecting Infi over Wipro. Make sure while you take an investment decision, you look at other things as well. Petrovski score should not be the single thing, but Petrovski score can be one of the most important thing that you can look at while you are investing a stock. I hope you got a very clear idea about how Petrovski score works and how to actually use it while you are investing. So if at all you have any confusions about it, please make sure you comment below so that I could give you the right answers. And also make sure you subscribe to this channel. See you next day with another video. Signing off, Kens.